Viewers, the latest news about Ethiopia, Amhara, and Tigray region is that today I will share with you in this video the latest information received regarding the ongoing war in Amhara region. Tigray Defense Force sources are claiming that Bole Airport in Addis Ababa and Harar Meda Airport are now in the range of Tigray Defense Force missiles. As Tigray Defense Force is now on the sides of Debrecen after taking control of Shiva Robert and Molale. And according to reports, heavy fighting is going on between Ethiopian National Defense Force, its allies, and allied forces of Tigray Defense Force and Oromo Liberation Army on the sides of Debrecen. Tigray Defense Force and Oromo Liberation Army have been quite successful if the claim is true from Tigray Defense Force sources. But no clear statement has yet been made by the Tigray Defense Force Central Command. And also, on behalf of Amhara and Ethiopian government, no statement was made regarding this claim. But there have been many reports from Tigray Defense Force sources that Bole Airport and Harar Meda Airport are now in the range of Tigray Defense Force missiles. As we are getting more information about these claims as soon as a confirmation report is received, we will inform you. On the other hand, these analysts are also agog at how quickly the Ethiopian National Defense Force has collapsed. Like the Taliban advanced towards Kabul, the Tigray Defense Force has, just as it did 30 years ago in ending the rule of Mengistu Haile Mariam in 1991, outperformed base troops on the battlefield and especially in the media. The Ethiopian National Defense Force is seemingly a spent force. It is surprising that Abe, a former military officer, does not have a particularly workable plan for war. Muddy camouflage would not wash it. But then again, the Prime Minister is famous for his self belief. This may also help to explain why, for all of the help and willingness of outsiders from the African Union to conflict resolution experts, Abe lacks a plan for peace. Never mind that he received the Nobel Peace Prize in 2018. He is not the first mistake the Nobel Committee has made, and probably on that committee's seeming inability for self reflection would not be the last. And Abe first totally pissed off the Tigrayans in ruling back to the Malaysians, a fallout which he might have survived given that they amount to just 6% of the population. Had he not done the same to the Oromia, over a third of the population, and then upped the tax by siding with Amharic nationalities who are essentially against nearly everyone long. He also managed to upset the Sudanese and Egypt over the Grand Ethiopian Dam and then trumped it all by relying on arch enemy Eritrea to slap the Tigrayans down militarily in November last year. He then rubbed salt into ethnic wounds by dispossessing and detaining Tigrayans in a bout of ethnic business cleansing in Addis and in locking up the Oromia leadership. In fact, if anything, Dr. Abe Ahmad, he remarkably has a doctorate from the Institute for Peace and Security Studies in Addis Ababa, has stepped into all the imaginable pathologies present in a peacemaking process, holding unrealistic objectives, resorting the belligerent rhetoric, running interference to ensure a staccato rather than a constant peace process, mediation, shopping, working against rather than with the grain of international actors, and openly failing to see his opponent's positions, strengths, and weaknesses and acting on them. All of this is fine, of course, if the objective is to buy time, which is useful only if there is time to buy for a winnable war fighting strategy. At Debrecen, the single lane A2 climbs to over 3000 meters through several small tunnels to a escarpment that looks over the town of Shiva Robert, where fighting had erupted the morning of our journey, said by a visitor. A large concentration of military and militia barred our further progress, and despite our protestations, we were ordered to turn around. Once we had done so, we are immediately stopped again for questioning by a member of the National Intelligence Service and told to follow him and a hopeless policeman to Debre Birhan, where we were detained for further interrogation. My colleagues explained that we were searching for one of their citizens, Sergio, working for an international NGO, who had gone missing. Yes, on the other hand, four scenarios are now possible. In the first, the international community gets behind an African peace deal, enabled by Abe taking immediate, symbolic, de-escalatory steps, including opening humanitarian access to Tigray, turning back on telecommunication, banking, and electricity services to the province, and speaking out publicly against Eritrean occupation. This might, in a long shot, halt the war, but it is unlikely to save Abe. It is difficult to negotiate from a position of weakness. And in the second scenario, suddenly bolstered by fresh international weaponry, the Ethiopian National Defense Force performs a miracle and holds on, stopping the Tigray Defense Force and its allies from coming into Addis Ababa. The settlement being followed up in a positive outcome by a peace process and a final settlement through a national dialogue. More likely, such a statement links to a third scenario in which the Eritrean distract the Tigray Defense Force advance by reinvading Tigray, forcing the Tigray Defense Force retreat back up the road to defend their homeland to Ethiopia's north. And this Tigray Defense Force reaction is not certain. However, rather Asmara's further involvement might cause them to launch an all-out, no-holds-barred offensive on Addis Ababa, perhaps expedited by closer collaboration with the Oromo Liberation Army. Any further Eritrean intervention, whatever the short-term military consequences, will almost certainly lead to greater longer-term intercommunal violence and possibly even the dissolution of today's modern version of the Ethiopian state. If the Eritreans step in, then what happens? There is evidence to suggest that its president Isaias Afwerki has good reason to fear the reaction of his own generals to what will be an inevitably brutally bloody and possibly politically fatal struggle as much as the increasing international opprobrium that would surely result. This leads to a fourth final scenario that Addis falls, and probably sooner rather than later. The question is, what then? The Tigrayans will, if they are as smart as they profess to be, not seek to return to the past, save taking back their businesses, but will set about creating a national dialogue that will enable power sharing with the legitimate Oromia and other leadership, and a fairer distribution of resources. Any failure to take this mature approach can only seed yet another conflict, and the ball is still in a base court, but only just. So viewers, so far the latest update. For more latest update, please subscribe channel. Thanks for watching.